Today we're going to review the next short story for Akira Toriyama's manga theater book, which is called Dragonboy. Yes, this literally is so identical to Dragon Ball. There's no guarantee that this is where the idea started. Now, even though this is just the first chapter for Dragonboy, I will say there are a lot of references in Dragon Ball in this story. Like, the one thing I will say is that we actually have a Master Roshi in this story. Yes, maybe not identical to the Master Roshi we know nowadays, but this one feels more of a historic vibe, if you want to go with that. So this chapter 1 reminds me a little bit of the first episode of Dragon Ball, which, if you guys remember, there is a pterodactyl that captures Bulma. Now, in this story, there's a similar dinosaur that is a demon, apparently, in this, which he is the water demon from a well, yes. So pretty much what happens is that if people are thirsty and need some water, he is there to pretty much capture them and devour them right off the bat, which is kind of similar to the pterodactyl, but without the water and the demon part. And the one big reference in this story to Dragon Ball is Tang Tong. Yes, the boy that is half dragon and half boy, which probably explains why the story is called Dragon Boy. Now, even though he is a half dragon, I will say he has literally the IQ of Goku. This kid does not know anything about women in the story, and also even does something a little similar, but I don't know if you would call it better, but he checks to make sure if they are a woman as well. So pretty much you could say what this chapter is pretty much all about is probably the start of an idea for Dragon Ball. Yes, Dragon Boy is literally just Dragon Ball, but in a different concept. Like I said, we have Master Roshi, we got the Adventure Boy that is a dragon instead of a monkey boy, if you want to go with that. Now, the plot of the story is pretty much Tang Tong has to take this princess all the way to the Blossom area, and let me tell you, the princess might look a little bit similar to Chi-Chi, but definitely has an attitude of Bulma. Very spoiled, I will say, complains a lot. Just overall, you could see Bulma literally when you're reading this chapter. And even though this is a great introduction to Dragon Boy, which I can't wait to read chapter 2 after this point, which is going to be probably the next video. But either way, this is probably one of his best openings, I will say, for one of his chapters, and just in general as a short story. I think this is where we get to the point where he is getting very more creative with his ideas and definitely knows how to tell stories lots better. And it's just phenomenally amazing. It is very exciting to see what's going to happen next out of this chapter. But yes, this is probably one of my favorites so far. Even though, yes, I have to give credit that it is very similar to Dragon Ball, which is literally one of my favorite shows, of course. But I do have to say that, yes, the opening to this chapter is probably literally one of the best ones out of this whole thing. Now, I know you can go back and watch some of my videos, and you can probably tell, like, how I felt about those chapters and how some of them I was a little concerned about. But yes, this one really takes the cake and definitely has Akira Toriyama's humor and cranks it up a notch. So the score I would have to give this chapter or short story, I would probably have to give it like a 9 out of 10. Just because it has that humor from Dragon Ball, but also at the same time, it definitely has great introduction of what the story is going to be. Like, literally the first page is showing like the island area of where Dragon Boy is, and it's just like a great scenery of it. And I have to give credit to Akira Toriyama for making a really good story. And it's kind of interesting if you think of it that way, because we could have probably got something like Dragon Boy for an anime instead of Dragon Ball. But either way, I see how Dragon Ball would achieve a bit more than Dragon Boy. It is definitely a really good kickstart if people are curious of where Akira's ideas are coming from for Dragon Ball and stuff. And definitely reading all these short stories, you could definitely tell that he has gotten a lot of ideas from all the short stories that he has done throughout the years. And I think this is a phenomenally amazing way to start getting into something that is similar to Dragon Ball now, and just can't wait to finish it at the same time. So if you guys enjoyed this review, give it a like, thumbs up, and at the same time, guys, get ready for the next chapter because I'm actually excited. We got an introduction of Dragonboy who knows how to fight, but I love how he does talk about how the pterodactyl character or demon, whatever you want to call this guy, I just love how he pretty much is like talking about how he's stronger than a boulder. I thought that was really funny and hilarious at the same time. So, but anyways, guys, I will see you all, of course, in the next videos. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.